Shakesyear! We're back on Shakesyear. Sorry, I was just trying something different today. We're still working on Macbeth, and today we get to hear from Macbeth in Act 3, Scene 2 of this play. So, things that have happened. He killed the king, and then he killed the king's guards, and then he put a hit out on Banquo and Banquo's son Fleance, because Banquo is suspicious of Macbeth, because Banquo was there when the witches predicted that Macbeth would become king, and then also when they predicted that Banquo's children would become kings, that Macbeth's children were not. So Banquo is suspicious. He thinks that Macbeth killed the king, which he did, but he doesn't know that for sure. And Banquo and his son Fleance are out like riding, but they're supposed to come to a dinner party at Macbeth's place. But it's not like super happy fun dinner party. This is like the one king just died and the other king just got coronated kind of dinner party, so maybe a little awkward to begin with. But Banquo is supposed to be there. He and his son Fleance are out riding horses during the day because they needed some way to pass the time, and this was before Netflix. And Macbeth has sent a couple of murderers after them who he convinced that Banquo was their enemy, so they should kill him, not them. So Act 3, Scene 2 starts out with Lady Macbeth and a serving lady. She's like, where's my husband? And blah, blah, blah. And she gets a brief moment after the serving lady leaves to express that she's a little trepidatious about what's going on here. A little bit nervous about things, but then Macbeth comes in and she's like, hey, what are you, like, how come you're still so bummed about this whole thing? Like, you shouldn't even be thinking about this anymore. And she says, in what I believe is one of the first recorded uses of the phrase, she actually says, what's done is done. So her thought on this, or at least the face that she's putting forward about this, is, you killed him, he's dead, you're king now. There's nothing you can do about it, so stop dwelling on it. And she's like, why are you so upset? What's done is done. And Macbeth says, we have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint. Both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further. So it's an interesting point that he's making here. He is racked with guilt all the while Duncan gets to just be dead and not exist anymore and not have to worry about all of the things that are going on in life. It's a weird sort of backhanded remorse that he's going through right now, that since he did this thing, he now has to live in fear of people rising up against him, and he's haunted by nightmares, and he feels guilty, and he's terrified all the time and that sort of thing. And if he was dead like Duncan is, he wouldn't have to worry about it. Like, he gave Duncan peace while inflicting all of this turmoil upon himself in doing this thing that he did in order to become king. It's an interesting look into his mindset. And what's fascinating, I think, about this, like we knew from the outset that Macbeth was squidgy about killing the king, that he might not have the right constitution for it, all that sort of thing. And what's fascinating, kind of lovely to me, especially with the gender roles that exist in society today, is to see the male character so upset about the fact that he committed murder, that he committed regicide, that he killed this wonderful man. And the female character is like, but it's done. Like, pick yourself up, brush yourself off, put your happy face on, because we got to go back out there and have this dinner party. I think that it's just, for as often as women are called the more emotional sex, and we wouldn't be able to handle things, and for as often as in our modern culture, like, men are serial killers and women are not serial killers, I just think that it's an interesting play with the gender roles here that we get to see how this regicide is affecting Macbeth, and it is affecting him deeply and disturbing him greatly. And we haven't gotten to see that with Lady Macbeth yet. She's holding it together. She's being the strong one. She's saying, you know, but we did the right thing. So as they keep talking through the scene, there's one more monologue that we'll hear tomorrow that finishes out the scene. But as they keep talking in the scene, he starts to allude to things with Banquo and like, where is Banquo? He's out riding right now. And he alludes to there's something terrible coming. And she's like, what did you do? And then tomorrow we get to hear him tell her, or at least respond to her. So I won't get too much into that. We will get into that tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, that's Macbeth is not coping well with the fact that he committed regicide. 'Cause you shouldn't. I'm just going to throw that out there. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.